Before we get to Unsolved Mysteries, I posed a question to our Twitter and Instagram followers what they thought of Part 18
Mhm.
when they first saw it. And I'd like to read a few of those.
Yeah. In a segment we call Twitter responses.
That's great. From @JohnClark1 on Twitter.
Yep.
It has exactly the same impact as the end of season 2. When you first see it, you're horrified and disappointed, and you think that can't be it. But over time and a few rewatches, you eventually realize it's absolutely perfect. @JohnClark1.
I actually did love the end of season 2.
Yeah. Tyler's reaction was amazing to that.
What?
Season 2?
Yeah.
That was bullshit.
It's an awesome ending. I can see where, like, of course, fans had to be so enraged at the time, but like but I didn't watch it till later and knew that there was like another season. So I'm like, all right, it's fine.
Yeah. That's fair.
Got a short one here. This is @Eli Redman. I was disappointed at first, but have come to appreciate what we got. I feel like there's a lot of answers that are like that. And again, I feel like I don't say, like, I never said I was disappointed. I just knew, like, I was going to be thinking about this. So yeah. At Warm Quiet Night, as soon as the credits started rolling, I completely broke down and cried my heart out, and I still can't articulate exactly why. I've rewatched parts 1 to 17 many times, but I can't even bring myself to touch part 18 again. Yet I consider part 18 to be the best thing I've ever seen. Pretty wild.
I mean, like I said,
They wrote that so you would read it.
Maybe. At Warm Quiet Night.
there's so much emotion in that last moment before the lights go out. It's reliving the horror all over again, and you as a viewer are forced to relive that horror.
Yeah.
It may not impact the same with everybody.
Yeah.
But if it hits, it hits.
Right.
So I definitely understand that.
It keeps bringing that same question up. Like, did Coop bring her back to elicit this response? Like, what's
right? Yeah. Like, what was the end game? That's why I think, like, if it was to trap Judy, it was just like, yeah, what you wanted to bring her back here to do that, but if that was the only way to win, that's what I was saying. She had to relive her trauma at a cost.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Maybe that was the only way.
Right. Got a video.
Uh-oh.
Hey guys, Jasmine here from Damn Fine TV with my thoughts on part 18 of Twin Peaks, which is just one of my favorite episodes of television ever of all time. I think it is exactly the way that the return needed to come to a close. You know, it didn't all of a sudden try to wrap everything up in a nice little bow. That would have felt super out of place for the vibe of the return. I love the way it keeps you thinking about it, how it's so open to interpretation. It's something that I don't think I'll ever stop contemplating. You know, all of its implications for the world of Twin Peaks as a whole, and for, you know, our particular characters like Dale Cooper and Laura Palmer. It's sort of haunting to think about, honestly. But yeah, love it. Loved it that day that it first aired. Love it even more over the years. And I will say, if I had one tiny criticism, there's just not enough Bobby.
Thank you, Jasmine, for that video.
Not enough Bobby. She's a Bobby girl. That's pretty funny,
is a Bobby
actually.
girl.
She is absolutely a Bobby girl, 100%.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people feel the exact same way. It's such a huge open loop for the world of the show and the lore and how deep it runs. And you can go back, watch it from the beginning, and see all of this at work the entire time. And it just really comes to a head here. It is kind of perfect.
Yeah.
I agree.
From one of our Patreon supporters, Stephen Hines.
Mhm.
First time I watched it, I felt like I had been sucker punched. I was completely lost and baffled, but at the same time, I wanted to dive right back in and try to understand.
Good luck.
But yeah, of course, you immediately want more.
Right.
Like it's like, that can't be it. That can't be all. Because like I said, when I was watching it through the first time, and I got to part 17, I saw there was an 18. I thought,
yeah,
we're out of time.
What else can you do?
What do we do?
Yeah, you start a new story.
Like this can't be it.
You basically reset
Yeah.
everything.
Starting positions.
Yeah, you go
Starting
back to starting
positions.
positions. Exactly. Yeah. See, Tyler?
Mhm.
From one of our Patreon supporters,
Yeah.
Laura Palmer fan.
Wonder what they're into.
Twin Peaks. I think basically everyone shared a sense of disappointment at first. I certainly did, but over time and looking at it within the whole context of Twin Peaks, I think it's kind of perfect ending. I think it's kind of a perfect ending. The feeling it creates is indescribable, tragic, confusing, scary, truly Lynchian. Every time I see it, it makes me want to go back and start all over again. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Hours upon hours worth of theories that describe it as anything to the final meta fourth wall break, to a heroic victory, to someone waking up from a dream, to a tragic failure. Got another video. Thomas
good one.
C. at a damn fine cup of Joe on Instagram.
Hi, people from Talking Backwards Pod. So I'm sending you my thoughts about the ending of Twin Peaks: The Return. Episode 18 really had the perfect ending, in my opinion. It shows a trauma is not easy to erase. Like, Cooper tried to go back in time and to save Laura, but Laura was already lost when she was meeting Leo and Jacques. She had been abused by her dad for years, as we've seen in Fire Walk with Me, and so preventing the murder doesn't erase all that incest. It's super dark, but very appropriate for Twin Peaks as an ending. These are my thoughts. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
That's good.
Damn fine cup of Joe.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
that
a
was
damn
good
fine cup of
response.
Joe.
I liked his acknowledgement that she was already lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Like, keeping her from being killed doesn't mean that she wasn't beaten down beyond recovery at that point already
Right.
in her life. Something I hadn't even really thought of. Like,
Right.
it's not just saving her life that's important. You would have to
Honestly,
go back further.
I don't even think Coop saved her. I think he just delayed it.
Yeah.
And then when her body disappeared from under the rock, it probably just like washed up on the other side of the rock.
It just came
Just
back
washed up
around.
somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, that's, like he said, that's dark, but that's probably true.
This is at Connor_Stevenson06. I think it made the whole story of Twin Peaks come full circle. David Lynch never wanted Laura's murder to be solved, but the network forced him to reveal the killer's identity. I love how the mystery is once again in an unknown and unexplained state.
That's true. It is that.
That goes back to season 1.
Yeah.
Or I guess season 2, really, or mid-season 2. Like,
Right.
it was,
Right.
this was supposed to go on
Right.
for an undisclosed amount of time
Yeah.
before we ever knew anything
Yeah.
substantial.
And even if then,
Yeah.
Never.
I mean, I think it would have been forced eventually,
Mhm.
just like it was forced. But yeah, it does make you wonder if he had his way, how long
Well,
that would.
I mean, just the way that he was forced to make that play then, he had to change the narrative later
Yeah.
to make it fit his grand plan.
Yeah.
Very Judy of him.
The last one I got is a little lengthy, but this one is from at 30 Rock with me, the 30 Rock Twin Peaks
That's
mashup account.
brilliant.
Yep. They said, God, so I was at a show and went to dinner the night it aired, and my friend said, oh no, you're not going to be happy. Twitter's mad at David Lynch for the finale. And I figured they would be. I watched the next day and remember it so well. It felt like the beginning of The Return, where there's no way he'd suddenly give us the linear plot and solve it all, especially with so many characters and threads out there. 17 was so gorgeous and satisfying that I started to think maybe I was wrong and he was going to give some resolution. He tied so much of it up with a bow and then slowly unraveled it through 18 that it was unsettling, but in a beautiful way. But when Coop uttered those words, it hurt so much. To see our hero so shattered and lost, it really did hurt. And I was bothered for about a week. It really stuck with me. And I asked a friend who also loves it what she thought. And she was deeply affected too. And I wouldn't change a thing about the ending. That's true art. Makes you feel powerful things, whether you like that feeling or not. It remains my favorite season and my favorite work of his.
It's kind of the hero's journey equivalent of being just on time for your flight and realizing you're at the wrong airport.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it is.
It's It's like, oh man, we just made it. We just made
Made
it.
it, but
To the wrong
to the wrong.
place.
We're in the wrong terminal. Yeah, we're on the wrong plane.
Or we are in the wrong concourse.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a real rug rip.
It's a rug rip.
Like we did everything right.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
And also just
And we still lose?
the whole thing is just unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way. And again, I said this about pretty much the entire return. Like, what was going to happen around any turn at the beginning? Didn't know who we were starting with at any episode. And 18 is just proof of the unpredictableness of this show. It's wild.